What's going on, guys? Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com. If you regularly watch my videos, then you know that I typically start them out with some kind of a stupid joke, but today I felt like that was kind of inappropriate because we're going to be talking about cancer, which is a very, very serious matter, specifically whether or not Nike soccer cleats can cause cancer. Let me explain. If you guys end up enjoying the video, don't forget to support it with a like. And if you're new here watching for the first time and enjoy what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. So for those that don't know, and this has been a thing for about the last 2 years or so, the state of California has essentially banned kangaroo leather. So that means kangaroo leather soccer cleats are not allowed to be sold inside of California or shipped to California. So obviously if you go to a soccer store in Cali, you're not gonna find any kangaroo leather shoes, whether that's a Nike Tiempo Legend, a Copa Mundial, whatever it may be. But even if you try to order from a store, at least in the US, to California, they are not going to ship it to you. If you order from Europe or somewhere else, I'm not sure that they're aware of the laws and I'm not sure that anything would happen. It's not necessarily illegal to own anything out of kangaroo leather, but it's not allowed to legally be shipped to you from a store that carries these kangaroo leather products. So just to be clear, you're not gonna go to jail if you own or try to buy a pair of kangaroo leather soccer cleats. It's just the stores that are selling these products outside of California are technically not allowed to ship them into California. If they do that, I'm sure there's some kind of legal ramifications, but I'm not sure what those are. Either way, you're completely safe if you're trying to get a hold of these particular products. As for the cancer part of this discussion and how it pertains specifically to Nike soccer cleats, over the last couple of weeks, I've been getting a couple of you messaging me with screen caps of a very concerning message that pops up during Nike's checkout process when trying to purchase a pair of Nike Tiempo Legend 7 Elites and having them shipped to California. If you want to replicate this and see it for yourself, go to Nike's website. It has to be the US variation. Add a Nike Tiempo Legend 7 Elite to the cart. Doesn't matter what size it is, and then select your address as California. Once you do that, a little pop-up link will be right below that, and click that and you'll see this particular message. Prop 65 disclosure for California residents. Warning, this product contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer, birth defects, or other reproductive harm. What the heck does that mean, and how could a soccer cleat do that? So in order to answer this question, we have to understand what Prop 65 is. Prop, by the way, is short form for proposition, and upon a little bit of Google searching, I ended up on OEHHA.gov, which is a government-run website where they explain what Proposition 65 actually is. So let me read you what it says. In 1986, California voters approved an initiative to address their growing concerns about exposure to toxic chemicals. That initiative became the Safe Drinking Water and Toxic Enforcement Act of 1986, better known by its original name of Proposition 65. Proposition 65 requires the state to publish a list of chemicals known to cause cancer or birth defects or other reproductive harm. This list, which must be updated at least once a year, has grown to include approximately 800 chemicals since it was first published in 1987. Proposition 65 requires businesses to notify Californians about significant amounts of chemicals in the products they purchase in their homes or workplaces or that are released into the environment. By providing this information, Proposition 65 enables Californians to make informed decisions about protecting themselves from exposure to these chemicals. Proposition 65 also prohibits California businesses from knowingly discharging significant amounts of listed chemicals into sources of drinking water. Simply put, they are trying to protect the citizens of California from any kind of toxic chemical exposure. Which brings us to this question: what types of chemicals are on the Proposition 65 list? The list contains a wide range of naturally occurring and synthetic chemicals that are known to cause cancer or birth defects or other reproductive harm. These chemicals include additives or ingredients in pesticides, common household products, food, drugs, dyes, or solvents. Listed chemicals may also be used in manufacturing and construction, or they may be byproducts of chemical processes such as motor vehicle exhaust. So basically, any kind of chemical that is considered harmful that is on the product or has come in contact with the product during the manufacturing process is basically outlawed in California for your own safety. I'm currently holding the exact boot that prompts this warning on Nike's website. Am I in any significant danger? I would argue no. So here's the thing about this Prop 65 warning. As of right now, and likely for the foreseeable future, it is exclusive to California. So if you live anywhere else inside the US or anywhere else in the world, at least as far as I know, you are not going to be restricted as to which soccer cleats you can buy, whether they're a knitted upper, whether it's a synthetic upper, whether it's made out of kangaroo leather, like this extremely dangerous Tiempo Legend 7 that I'm currently holding in my hands. So the fact that it's only a thing in one state out of basically the entire world leads me to believe that the amount of danger that a product like this is actually causing, I think, is extremely minimal, to the point where maybe there's not even anything dangerous about it at all. Now let me just say that I'm not a scientist, I don't really know anything about harmful chemicals, and I'm not even American, I'm actually Canadian, but I just don't see how something as simple as a kangaroo leather soccer shoe, of which I own a ton of, by the way, is going to cause cancer or any kind of harmful effects on my body, or anybody's body for that matter, whatsoever. The fact that this is something that is exclusive to California, while I'm sure there's some legitimacy to the studies that they've made in regards to some kind of chemical either in the product or during the manufacturing process that could potentially be harmful, I would imagine that whatever the final product ends up being, especially coming from a big company like Nike or Adidas or all of these multi-billion-dollar companies, they're going to make sure that whatever product they're releasing to the public that's going to be sold in mass quantities is going to be safe to use. I would think that if these legitimately cause cancer or are harmful to people's bodies, that Nike would be out of business, because there'd be so many lawsuits of people who have bought their kangaroo leather products over the years that they wouldn't be able to stay in business. So yes, is there some cause for concern? I'm sure there's something about the dye in the leather where there's some kind of chemical that's not particularly good for you. But I would think that as long as you're not smoking the shoes or trying to eat the shoes, or I guess licking the shoes, I don't really know. Even licking the shoes I would think is, I feel like I'm probably gonna be okay, but I'm just not concerned about my soccer cleats giving me cancer. That was gross. As far as what specifically about the Tiempo Legend 7 and its kangaroo leather upper that does have some kind of toxic element to it that could put you at a higher risk of cancer, that's not something that's specified on Nike's own website, and as far as I know, that's not public information anywhere. I'm not sure if the state of California tests every single product that gets into the state before putting it on sale. I'm not exactly sure how active they are in terms of monitoring these types of things. All I know is that kangaroo leather is pretty much outlawed in California, so I'm not even sure if they're just outlining everything kangaroo leather or if they specifically check each individual product to make sure that it is safe or unsafe depending on what they're searching for. If I had to guess about what is unsafe about this particular shoe, I would think that with kangaroo leather, because it is a natural material, which a lot of people don't realize, it's called kangaroo leather because it's the skin of an animal, the skin specifically of a kangaroo. And I know that sounds horrible and you might be against natural leather materials in general. That's a completely different discussion. But for the sake of this being a natural material and obviously having it in all these different colors, they have to dye the leather. And I would think it's something in the dye, whether it's lead or something else, maybe even it's just something that's used during the manufacturing process that is deemed to be unsafe or toxic for you. That is why these are on the ban list. I don't think that there's anything as a final product, if you really want to get your hands on a Tiempo Legend 7 or a Copa Mundial or any other kangaroo leather soccer cleat, that's going to be unsafe for you. So again, I think that it's something that's there more or less to scare people than something that should be a legitimate concern for you. So in conclusion, are your Nike Tiempo Legend 7s putting you at a higher risk of getting cancer? I think the simple answer to that question, and most people would agree with me, is absolutely not. Unless Nike is dipping these in straight poison prior to shipping them out to you, which I don't think they're doing, you're probably gonna be just fine. Anyways, guys, that is it for this topic and this video. It was brought to my attention by a couple different people. I thought it was super, super interesting and at the same time kind of just funny as a whole. So I figured I'd make a video talking about it. Hopefully you found it interesting. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. And if you're new here watching for the first time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. If you have any questions or anything else to add to this particular discussion, leave it down below in the comments and I'll do my best to get an answer out to you as soon as I possibly can. All my social media information is linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching.